Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a great day today. Welcome back to the show, and in this video we're going to be doing a review for Thor: The Dark World, the sequel to the first Thor movie, and this one came out in 2013. Now a lot of people actually really don't like this one. They put it in their bottom 5 MCU movies, but I think it's honestly kind of overlooked. Obviously this came out in phase 2 where there were some better films, but if you look back at it now, there's definitely a lot of stuff that again I think people just overlook. There's definitely some stuff in here that you can appreciate. I think it's a little bit overhated. First of all, the overall look is pretty good. The visuals are good. The CGI is an improvement over the first movie and pretty good for the most part. They obviously use a lot, but I think the cinematography is also really good, and the music is just phenomenal. And this was another one from Brian Tyler, I believe, and it's just really good. One of the best comic book movie film scores of all time. Now obviously this movie isn't without its flaws. The villain could be better, the whole elves and that sort of stuff. It's underdeveloped to say the least. It's just a case where they're evil just for the sake of being evil. You really don't know too much of their backstory, and it is very similar to the Frost Giants in the first movie. But to be honest, that's really not where I think the focus was meant to be. It's really just more on our main characters. Obviously you have Thor and his Earth friends as well as his Asgard friends. And Loki is definitely the standout character once again. He's just phenomenal. He gets Thor to trust him, and even though I think that does kind of happen a little bit too fast, it still works very well. And obviously you still have their parents, and the overall story is decent. It pretty much just takes place after Avengers. Loki has to pay for his crimes, and he's able to get out of it. And there's just a lot of really neat stuff that they do. And the acting, of course, is good. All of the actors did a really good job. And one thing that's definitely an improvement over the first movie is that Thor is actually Thor for most of the movie. In the first movie, he's only Thor at the beginning and end because he got his powers taken away for a long period of time. And here you really get to see him just fighting a bunch of people. And his overall character development is done very well. Now to talk about more of the things that don't really work, obviously it's still inconsistent in tone. You have kind of the goofy stuff going on Earth, and then it just swaps to Asgard and other worlds that are just way more serious. So they still didn't figure out how to properly do that. I actually do like what they did with Jane Foster. I think the romance was pretty good, but overall it could have been structured a little bit better, the whole story, how everything plays out. But you still get to see some pretty cool action in here. And the final battle is actually really well done, I would say. But once again, it's just, as a whole movie, it is a little bit inconsistent in tone. Because you have some moments that honestly should be considered a masterpiece if you take them out of context, like the funeral of Thor's mother. And then you have other stuff that's just very easy jokes from the people on Earth. So just some stuff in there that's not very impressive. But overall, I think it's solid. It's not terrible by any means. It's obviously not the best. It didn't reach its potential, but I do think it is a little bit underrated. So overall, on the quality scale of 0 to 100, we'll give it a 75%. And you definitely got to check this out if you're a fan of Marvel and you're watching the movies in the timeline. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.